come on in to Married at First Sight, season 16, episode 14. And my name is Deborah, and I'm doing recap reviews on all the individual couples. And at the end of each video, there'll be links above my head. You can click on it, and you can go right on to the next video for the next couple. So let's move on to Jasmine and Airris. And good Lord, people, I know you guys are tired of me talking about Airris. I know you're tired of listening to me talk about Airris. And to be honest with you, I'm kind of tired of talking about him too. And I was hoping this week I was going to say, you know what, I'm going to concentrate on Jasmine. I'm going to concentrate on Jasmine because you guys know I like to do reviews, recaps, but I also like to give a little bit of practical advice. So I thought, well, maybe this week I'll concentrate on Jasmine, but I can't, y'all. I can't concentrate on her. And you know what? I understand Jasmine's walls are up, walls as tall as the Great Wall of China. But I'm like, girl, keep them there. Keep them walls up. Keep them there. Do your two-step like I said last week. You ain't got nothing to say. Because now Airris is telling Jasmine basically she doesn't intellectually stimulate him. She doesn't intellectually stimulate him. I try to have conversations and I'm talking. But then at the end of the conversation, I don't really feel like Jasmine says anything. And we don't really have no good in-depth conversations. In-depth conversations. This is the man that for the whole first week of the marriage, all you want to do was talk about sex. And now all of a sudden you want to have intellectually stimulating conversation. I'm telling you, something is wrong with Airris. People think it's just because Airris isn't attracted to Jasmine, the reason he acts like this. No. All of you in your life have not been attracted to a person in your life. And the things that Airris says and does to Jasmine, even if you don't physically are attracted to a person, you wouldn't say those things. Because they're really mean-spirited. And that's why I keep telling you, I wasn't just joking when I told you that Airris is a robot. Airris doesn't have a feeling in his body. He told this woman, not even a woman on the street, he told his wife that the only reason I clap for you is because Pastor Cal told me to. So you mean that Pastor Cal had to coach you on how to show appreciation for a woman? He had to, you 40 years old, and Pastor Cal was the one that had to tell you how to show appreciation for your woman and how to make her feel good. You couldn't come up with nothing on your own, no compliments. You don't know how to compliment a woman. You don't know how to make her feel good. You had to have a complete stranger like Pastor Cal tell you what to do. And then when he tells you what to do and you do it, you come back and you actually tell that woman, the only reason I did it was because somebody told me to do it, because I'm a robot and I only do what's programmed in my head because I don't know how to do things on my own that makes me feel for another person. And you mean to tell me this man who tells a woman that expects that woman to let her guards down and to talk to him, a man that just told me the only reason I clap for you is because somebody else told me to, someone else told me to fake it. So you mean to tell me that before you even met Jasmine, before you even saw her, Pastor Cal already knew you had a problem showing appreciation and showing emotions and showing feelings? He already knew that was a problem with you, so he had to coax you before he met Jasmine, which means you had these problems before you even saw her. So it ain't nothing about no big booty. It ain't nothing about no intellectual stimulation. It ain't nothing about having swag. It ain't nothing about you don't wear no tennis shoes. It has nothing to do with any of the things that are wrong with Jasmine or right with Jasmine or what Jasmine needs to improve. It's all about Airris. That's why I say Jasmine don't do anything. And to be honest, I like Dr. P. I think she did a really good session. But the one thing I'm tired of in all these sessions with Jasmine and Airris is everybody keeps telling Jasmine what she needs to do for Airris to be attracted to her. When is Airris gonna do something? Why does Airris get to sit back and critique Jasmine and tell Jasmine what she's doing and what she's not doing? Why is everybody telling Jasmine what she needs to do? And then Airris sits over here talking about, oh, well, you know, she doesn't, sometimes I think she's just saying things to be saying things, but it's not really what she feels. So she's overly cooperative. She's overly cooperative. She's a people pleaser. Got it. I got all that kind of stuff. But instead of Chris and Nicole coddling his wife, making her feel comfortable, Airris is over here talking bad about her because she's too cooperative. I want a woman that's going to snap back on me. I want a woman who's going to talk back to me. And when Dr. Pia says, well, how do you like it when Jasmine just told you what she told you? Ooh, I like that. I like that. You like Felina, right? Because that's who Felina is. Felina likes to talk bad, likes to snap back, likes to get that little smart mouth. That's what you want. Felina, the Felinas of the world. Well, go get that. Go get that. That's not Jasmine. Just like you told her, you giving me ladylike, but I want whorish. So you want a whore that intellectually stimulates you. Just at the honeymoon, you was telling her she was too ladylike. You want to see some more of the whore side. Now you want a whore, but you also want the whore to intellectually stimulate you and who snaps back on you. I can't stand them. I can't stand them. The good scene I did see in this whole episode was when that sister talked to him and told him, listen, you need to do something. Nobody should have to coax you to want to be attracted to them. Nobody should have to do those things. What are you doing, Airris, to make her feel comfortable? Why is it all on her to keep doing things to make you become attracted to her? Jasmine needs to go on strike, pick a strike, keep her wall up, don't do stuff. Just count down these last 15 days to decision day. Please, Jasmine, do not say yes to this man. I know Jasmine is cooperative. She wants to be married. She wants to do the right thing. She's a PK child. Her parents have been married a long time. She says she's used to her father, maybe not expressing love, but actually showing her love. And Airris ain't doing neither one. Not only is he not expressing love, what he actually does is he puts her down continuously. It's not even about expressing love at this point. At this point, he actually complains about her and talks bad about her. And I wouldn't even say those things even to a person I didn't like. If I went to a wedding and I didn't like, let's say I didn't like what the bride had on, or I was friends with the bride, or I was friends with the groom, and I was just meeting his bride for the first time, and the bride walks down the aisle, and people are clapping, I'm clapping, I would clap. Even if I didn't think the bride was pretty, even if I didn't think, doesn't matter, I would clap for her because she's the bride, and just by being the bride alone, she deserves a level of respect and admiration. And I definitely wouldn't go up to the bride and say, well, the only reason I clapped for you because it was protocol. That's so mean-spirited. It's so mean-spirited. There are so many things wrong with Airris. I know a lot of people have been telling me they think he's on the spectrum. I don't even know if I give him that much credit. I don't even want to give him the credit of being on the spectrum, be honest with you. I don't want to give him that much credit. I really want to tell you, I think he literally is just a robot. He's a person without a feeling. I don't know what that is. I know we got so many PhDs and scholars in my subscribers. Tell me what it is when you are devoid of any level of empathy and sympathy and emotion. What is the clinical diagnosis for that? Because that is what Airris is. Even things that you would just do for a common person, things you wouldn't even say to a person on the street. For some reason, Airris feels comfortable saying it, no matter what. He's really a horrible person. He really is a horrible person. And then when Dr. Pia was there and asking Jasmine, do you think you're holding back? Jasmine was like, no, I don't think so. Girl, you holding back. You holding back. You can go ahead and tell the truth about that. You can go ahead and tell the truth, Jasmine. Yeah, absolutely, I'm holding back and I'm not changing until he does something different. And just like when Jasmine had this big breakdown and she was crying, because what he does is he talks a good game and he says what he's going to do, but he then doesn't do any of it. Because Airris actually doesn't do anything. What Airris is really, really good at, Airris is really good at telling you what he wants, what he doesn't like, what he likes, and then he wants everybody jumping through hoops to please him. He wants everyone jumping through hoops, and then he gets to sit back and he again gets to judge you and tell you whether or not you did a good enough job. And more than likely, what his answer is going to be is, no, your job wasn't good enough, so now I don't have to do nothing. I've met plenty of Airrises in the world, and I'm going to tell you that's their strategy. They're lazy people. They don't want to do shit out here. They don't want to put forth any effort, and the way they get out of doing work is they say, well, I'll show up and I'll do some work when you do these things. They give you a whole list of things you need to do first, and then they'll show up and then they'll do their work. So here you are working through your list, doing all these things because you think it's an agreement, you think it's a partnership, you think you've come to the meeting of the minds, and you're like, no problem, I'll go first, because somebody's got to go first. Somebody's got to get the ball rolling. So you know what? You go first. And next thing you know, you bust through your list, or you bust through one or two items, and then you go to them and say, okay, now what about you doing your part? And guess what they do? Nothing. They tell you, they go down all the things you did, and they tell you how you didn't do it to your fullest. Well, you didn't do it exactly right. You forgot to do this. You need to do this. And now they get to sit back and still do nothing until you get everything 100% correct. And that's what Airris is doing to Jasmine. He wants her to get 100% things correct. And until she gets there, he doesn't have to do anything, because she's not intellectually stimulated. She doesn't have a big booty. She doesn't wear tennis shoes. She doesn't have swag. Okay? She doesn't have all these things. He keeps going down the list, down the list, down the list, and down the list. And what have we seen Airris do? All this conversation he's talking about he likes to have, let me see it. I want to see it. I'll tell you or not whether or not it really is intellectually stimulated conversation, because I haven't even heard Airris have an intellectually stimulating conversation. And don't tell me you can't just talk even though the other person's being quiet, because I sit here in front of this YouTube station every single week, and I talk and I talk and I talk and I talk, and ain't nobody talking back to me at first except down in the comments. So this idea that he couldn't get the ball rolling on having intellectually stimulation unless Jasmine is talking at the same time is a bunch of bull crap, because you, the audience, my subscribers, we have intellectual conversation all the time. I talk, you listen, you drop down in the comments, I respond, we go back and forth. So when Airris talks about he can't get there, he can get there, because you and I, we get there every single week in these videos. In these videos, we get there. So for Airris to say he can't get there with Jasmine is bullcrap. And we saw Jasmine over there having very nice conversation with Shaq. We saw her asking questions. We saw her opening up. We saw her talking. We saw her talk to the ladies. It's not that Jasmine doesn't know how to talk. It's not that Jasmine doesn't know how to have conversation. She doesn't want to have it with Airris because Airris isn't a safe space, just like I said last week. I don't like him. I don't like him one bit. He's getting to the point, like Jasmine says, he doesn't even touch me. He doesn't even hug me. What are you talking about? You can't even hug a person just because you're not sexually attracted to them. You can't even touch a person because you're not sexually attracted to them. Shoot, people back in New York, y'all be up on the subways packed in there like sardines. You touching complete strangers. Complete strangers. And you mean to tell me because Airris is so turned off by Jasmine, he can't even touch the girl's hand? What's the big deal about a touch? What's the big thing about a hug? We hug strangers. We hug complete strangers out here in the world, and all of a sudden now, oh, it's too awkward to hug Jasmine because we've gone so long without getting a hug. No, you're awkward, period. You're a robot because you're not used to hugging. Hugging isn't awkward. Whether you like the person or not, hugs aren't even awkward. This is ridiculous. The excuses he comes up with to hide his issues. And I can't even believe people are on here telling Jasmine what she needs to do. Jasmine don't need to do a damn thing. And just like Jasmine says, even when he is talking, he's so sarcastic. She said, I could tell he don't really care about what I'm saying or what I want to say. We saw the clips, plenty of episodes before, when Jasmine was sitting over there talking to him and they were eating those tacos, and Airris had earbuds in his ear and dancing, talking about, and she had a whole long speech. And then after she finished talking, she looked at him because he had no response. And he said, what did you say? I didn't hear you. I was too busy eating my tacos. And now all of a sudden you want to talk about how she's not talking and she's not intellectually stimulating you. He's a whole fool. A whole fool. I'm telling y'all right now, I really want to use some real bad curse words, some F words, some MF words on Airris. But I know that I may not be able to monetize this video on YouTube. So I'm going to keep my mouth shut. But if y'all can imagine the words that I want to call Airris, I'm telling you, this video will be rated X. I'm telling you, I probably will make up some curse words to describe him. I can't stand him. This is not good for my health, you guys. How many more episodes do I have to watch of Airris? How many more do I have to watch of this man? This has nothing to do with not being attracted to Jasmine. The only person Airris would have wanted to have intimacy with was a woman who maybe physically met his criteria, whatever the case may be. But he would have never emotionally bonded with that woman, because the way that he talks to Jasmine, the things that he says, shouldn't come out his mouth, even if you're not even physically attracted to a person. It should never come out your mouth. You should never tell a woman on her most special day of her life, her wedding day, when she has spent tons of time getting dressed, getting makeup, hair, nails, shoes, and she's walking down the aisle. I almost want to cry, people. And for you to tell her, the only reason I clap for you is because someone told me to. I got to end this video. I am so upset that someone would be allowed to degrade a female's self-esteem like this. And it can continue to go on. And then they sit there and tell her she needs to do something else and she needs to do more so that you're physically attracted to her. If me getting in a wedding dress, walking down the aisle, getting my hair done, putting on makeup is not good enough for even a clap, there ain't shit else I need to do for you. You can go to hell. That's it, y'all. Watch my other videos. Talk to you later. Bye.